Welcome to the New Mom Talk podcast, your go-to podcast for evidence-based answers to your burning questions about parenting. Join us as we dive into commonly Googled topics and hear from experts and real moms. Let's navigate parenthood together, one question at a time. Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about the emotional and mental load that new mothers carry, which I think is safe to say that it is a lot, especially as a new mom. And then if you are a mom of a second or third, then yes, I think we all know that. So for that, we have Dr. Minisha Ghimire today to share her knowledge. So I'm going to hand it over to you if you can start off with telling us about yourself and what you do.
Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I'm Dr. Minisha Ghimire. I am physician, actually internal medicine trained. Then I developed interest in obesity medicine. So right now I treat patients with obesity medicine, with all the metabolism, sleep, and obesity related problem right now.
Great. Well, I'm excited to pick your brain on all of this. Let's start off with talking about what exactly is mental load and how is that different from just being busy or tired?
So I also have a company. It's called Momkinz. I'm CEO and founder of Momkinz. So that's when I work with a lot of moms who carry this mental load. So I am happy to tell a few things about mental load that might be useful for your audience. So mental load, think about something like you are planning, thinking, and something that's running in your head all the time, even when you are sitting in the sofa or when you are lying on the bed. There is this list that is nonstop. And for me, especially when I had young kids, I mean, my kids are still young, they are 8 and 5, but still that list, like when to send my kids to school, what the lunch to keep, when to plan for vacations, what are the activities my so all these families and things, household things that runs in your list and is never done, those are called mental loads. And as a mom, we mostly tend to carry that on our own. So it is a big difference being busy and being tired. Being busy is you're trying to finish something. Okay, so here's the laundry, or here is some kind of work that you need to do, and at that time you are really busy, but it does have an end point. Like you are busy for some time, but your busyness will end at certain point. So that is busy. But tired is that fatigue, that mental fatigue, that physical fatigue, that is all day, every day, even when you're sleeping, when you're waking up, you're taking care of kids. That's the tire. And it doesn't go, it doesn't have an end point until you have a good rest, until you give your brain or your mind, your body some kind of rest. It doesn't go away, it stays with you. So there's a big difference being busy and being tired. I hope that makes sense.
It does. Yeah. I automatically think of like, okay, I need to, like in the morning, I need to pack my son's lunch. I need to make sure I have his outfit ready, right? And that
Yeah.
I have everything ready for my daughter. So yeah, I kind of all of the things that live in my head just in the
Mhm.
morning that are
Yes.
also part of the to-do list. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's mental load.
So moving on to, I want to focus on a new mothers. So oftentimes new moms become the default parent.
Mhm.
And is that by choice or do you feel that that's just something that tends to just happen?
I do feel that it just happened. Again, that's because a lot of the responsibility that moms take, like when the baby is born, automatically we are default parent because we are feeding them, right? So like even though if you are pumping, still like we are doing some sort of work. That's one of the main, I feel like, in the default parenting criteria that moms kind of lean towards. The other thing is also between mom and dad, mom gets more maternity leave. So they stay with the baby more than the dad. So dad goes back to work and all the responsibility regarding the baby, like making an appointment, ordering the diaper, and organizing and planning things for the baby. Oh, baby needs like toys or books or like massage or whatever like baby needs. So those kind of things, that's planning that mom does and dad is not involved. So automatically, all because all the responsibilities stacked up for the mom. Eventually, mom tends to be a default parent. It's not by choice, but since the responsibility keeps on adding and adding, yeah, they ended up being the default parent, and that's what it is was in my case too.
It's almost like it's just easier to complete the task because you already know how to do it than have to teach
Yeah,
your partner how to complete
yeah.
that task, and then they just ask you more questions, which adds more to your mental load.
I used to think that a lot, and that's why I used to do until like 2, 3 years ago. That's what my default was. Like, I used to just get things done because I didn't want to educate my other half or someone who is helping me to do it how I wanted to do it. I did change a lot since then, but you also have to understand that once you tease them, then you are good for life. You don't have to tease them again, and you don't have to tease that do that again. So although there is small time that there is to tease them, but just remember the fruitful years that you are going to get back.
True. Yes, very valid. So worth the time.
Yeah, worth the time. Definitely worth the time. Yeah.
So, what does carrying the mental load long term actually do to a mother's mental and her physical health?
That is a very interesting question. And that's what my specialty comes in because I deal with this all the time. So you have to think that when you carry mental load, what happens is like you are in a chronic stress for longer period of time. So when you are in that chronic stress, what happens? Your cortisol is always elevated. So once your cortisol is elevated, then there are so many things that get affected on your sleep, the other your weight, the other metabolism. You always feel tired, you feel like you are inflamed, your body, no matter how much you try to lose weight, eat less, but your still body is still gaining that weight, and that weight is not going down. Sleep is affected. Eventually, you feel sad, depressed. You start getting angry with the kid because you are always on this high state. So mentally, you can be anxious. You are not present with the family. You are always in this high stress level. Physically, it will affect your sleep. It will affect your metabolism. It will affect your inflammation. It will affect your weight, and it just like it's circle because when you don't sleep, your cortisol is high. When your cortisol is high, you can't sleep. So it's just the circle that keeps on going on and on. So until you fix that stress, chronic stress level, and that is the mental load that you're carrying, and decrease that mental load, you won't be able to get out of that circle. I hope that
You
makes
just
sense.
saw me laughing because it's like, it's so true, right? You're like, oh, I need to work out, but I'm so tired. So I don't work out because I'm tired. But so it's like this whole cycle of like, you need to fix one thing in order for the next to just automatically
Yeah. Yeah.
follow.
Yeah. And
But
when you're tired, yeah.
yeah, and as parents, especially new moms, like it's really hard to figure it out when you're trying to figure out what's your new life going to look like. You can do it all. Your house, it needs to be spotless. You want to cook a homemade
Mhm.
meal every day, and that's just not the reality, which actually leads me into my next question of why doesn't just ask for help work? And what kind of support actually makes a difference? Right? I feel like just ask for help is not, it's so vague because as a parent, you're like, but I can do it all. So I don't want to ask for help, especially a new mom.
Yeah.
Hey, mama, if you're breastfeeding, you already know how much your body is doing. But here's something wild: you need 16 cups of water per day while you're nursing. She's Flowing from Legendary Milk, the #1 lactation brand, is a blackberry lemonade drink mix that supports your milk supply and keeps you hydrated in one delicious stick pack. Just add it to your water and you're done. Moringa, goat's rue, milk thistle, trusted herbs, awesome flavor. Find She's Flowing at legendarymilk.com.
So true. I love that question because I I've been through this so much in my life. And initially, I thought asking for help. Like, I used to have my husband, like, list of grocery. I used to go through the pantry and freezer, freeze, and see what are the things that needs to be like brought in the grocery. So I used to make that list and give it to my husband. He used to go to the grocery, come back, and then I used to put it away. So that's what is called ask for help. That means like you are just handling one specific task. You are not handling the overall planning, thinking, executing, and all the things that comes with one that decision. So instead of asking, just do things, just do the laundry, ask someone or ask your spouse or helper or anyone who can help you. Don't give them just do this, like just do my laundry. Don't say that. Don't put out your laundry and ask them to do the laundry. Ask them to do things, give them a specific direction how you want to do it, and give them an exact plan. So for laundry, do my laundry 11 a.m. on Thursday, and please fold it. Once it's dry, please fold and put it away. So in that way, you don't have to think constantly, when are you going to tell them like when to do laundry? When are you going to tell them when to put the laundry away? When are you going to ask them to put it from washer to dryer? Those kind of small things, even asking like husband to change diaper for a newborn. Okay, like before bed, like around 10 or 9, you make sure you change the baby diaper, put it clean, change the clothes. That's your responsibility, not just the changing the diaper. So all that, like executing, planning, and doing, that's what needs to be given away and not just ask for help. So I hope this makes clear, like asking for help is just asking them to do one specific task, but not asking them to plan and execute. But when you ask, when you really want to delegate things, you have to make sure you are giving all the mental load so that you are not thinking of it again.
Love the way that you explain that because yes, like, oh, do the laundry is so vague, but what does that look like for separation? Are you asking them to separate or just stick the entire basket of clothes
Yes.
in the washer and then you
Yeah.
have your lights and your darks washed? And so, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like, be very specific versus here's the one task I need you to do. So the
Yeah,
multi
yeah,
step.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So you stop planning and thinking about that and just focusing on other things rather than thinking about the things that you already delegated.
Yeah, and maybe even thinking about things that are easier to hand off that you could just, like, let
Mhm.
go, especially if it's not done the way you want it done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And or if you don't like doing that thing, laundry is my bad one. Like doing laundries. So that's one thing I like to give away.
Yeah. For me, it's, changing the sheets.
Yeah.
So my next question, I would love if you could share some realistic things moms can do to really lighten the load, or is this more of just like a systematic problem that goes beyond just a fix for an individual mom?
So things change can be more individual and a systemic level. And if we tend to go after the system change, we might not be able to fix what is in the individual way we can fix because system might take long time. So I want mom to really focus on individually and also fight with the system in the meantime, but try to do things in the individual level. So I do have this framework when I started doing all this work about invisible load and delegation. What how I started was I was like overworked, burnout, crazy. I was working nights for almost 5 years, and all the mental load and physical load was really making me like ache body, not sleeping, and all the things that can happen when you are like mentally overloaded. And that's when I was really in my really low point. That's how when I started seeing things clearly. And this is what I did. And I want mom to be able to understand this and be able to use this in their day-to-day life too. So there is this framework that I created. It's called do, delete, delegate, and design. So do all the things like first make a list of the things that you need to do, like all the things that you do in your day-to-day basis. And if you separate, do like you have to spend time with your kids, you have to spend time with your husband, you have to do some work that no one else can do for you. Just separate that. And on that list, if there is anything that you can delete, like extra meetings or extra call, extra survey that you need to fill, something that you really don't have to do, delete that. And then comes delegate. I don't want you to delegate first. I want to delete first, because I don't want you to be delegating things that you need to delete. So once you delegate, we already talk about delegation, not to just delegate a tasks, but the entire planning and execution. And then finally you'll be able to design your life. You'll have that empty space in your life that you can really use it for your hobbies, things you like most, like doing podcasts, like painting, cooking, whatever you like. So you can start designing, fill that empty space with the things that you love. So that's what my do, delete, delegate, and design. That's what I want mom to understand and see if they can apply this in their life. And it has changed my life significantly. So I hope my mom, all the mom listening, can apply that and get some value out of it.
I love that. My last question. Do you have any
Thank you.
tips, suggestions, or recommendations? I am going to have all of your information linked in the show notes for anybody that wants to reach out or get in touch with you. They'll be able to do so that way.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's really helpful. The only thing I want mom at the end of this podcast, if they don't get anything out of the podcast, just get this. Let's make that list today. I want all the moms to put down their mental load in one paper and see how many loads they are carrying, so that they can take one step at a time. Start deleting one thing, start delegating one thing, and start designing their life they want to, like how they want to. If you don't do that list, you'll never get it. Like even now, I'm doing my weekly audit this week. I'm like writing down every minute what I'm doing, so that at the end of the week, I can really look at everything, put it in the cloud, and see what are the things I can delete, delegate, and things that I can put into designing my life. So I want all the moms to start putting the list out so that they can see clearly what they can do.
So it's almost like spend a little time to
Mhm.
invest in this to then find time later on.
Exactly. So, I mean, we spend so much unnecessary time here and there. We won't realize until we start tracking. So, tracking and writing down is so important. Then you know what are the things that's really not necessary and you are just doing it by default.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and sharing all of your expertise with us and find ways to really help with managing the mental load.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I really, I enjoyed talking with you today.
Thank you for listening. Tune in next week for our next episode. You can find us on Instagram for more updates and tips. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts and give us a review if you like us.